No, I would have got it wrong already.
Hey, we going.
Okay.
Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come in week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom known as America, Sodom and Gomorrah, with Sodom and Egypt in the scriptures. So before we get started, we would like to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son in their proper names, and the Holy Spirit of truth, called
Elayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem,
Ha,
Waka, Kodash, Mama.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Our elder of this camp as well. Salutation to the Akim out there around the four corners of the earth, preaching his truth and sincerity, and also the few Akwaf Yim and children that believe in spirit and in truth as well. Today we have a topic, and it's going to be on Esau trying to get his birthright back. All right,
You know, Esau, he's trying to get his birthright back. You know, he's implementing this NWO as a last ditch effort and or plea to get back something that he gave away, which is the birthright. He gave away the kingdom of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh Yahweh Shai, for red lentils, for food, you know, and you know, yeah, basically for nothing. He gave it away for nothing. So without further ado, I'm gonna just give us a brief synopsis, you know, on Genesis chapter 27, verses 1 through 14. You know, when once he was becoming old, his sight had become dim, meaning he was blind. He couldn't see very well. So he was at a point where he was at his death, meaning he was about to pass on. So when it came to a point to where he wanted some savory meat, so he wanted to bless his sons before he passed. So he told Esau to go get some savory meat, because you know Esau was a cunning hunter. He was a man of the field. Jacob was a plain man which dwelled in tents. So he told Esau to go out and hunt him some venison that he may eat of it, so that he can bless him when Esau came back. But during this time, Rebekah, the mother of Esau and Jacob, overheard what Isaac was saying to Esau. So she set it up. I would say she set up Jacob to be did up or robed up like he was Esau. So she went and killed a goat and dressed it and gave it unto Jacob and told him to go unto his father to get the blessing. Of course, you know, Jacob, he was a little afraid. He was saying, peradventure, or perhaps, or maybe, what if, you know what I'm saying, my father notices that it's not Esau and that is I, Jacob, and he cursed me. She said, let the curses be upon my head. Just do what I tell you to do, boy. Basically, basically do what I tell you to do. So Jacob did as he was told, you know, and when it came down to it, Rebekah, she took the goodly raiment and put it upon, and then Jacob, he presented himself as Esau. Right. So the reason behind her setting up, let's go to Romans chapter 9, verse 12. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the angel had already came to her and said Jacob was going to be ruling in the kingdom. All right. So the blessing at that moment, Isaac was going to pass the blessing on to Esau. But her understanding what the angel had told her in the beginning, right? Her understanding that she knew from what the message the angel gave to her that she had to intervene. So that's why she was saying, let the curses fall upon me. She already knew in the mind what the angels had told her, but Jacob, he didn't know. Gosh. And you know, the focus is everything is going to happen according to prophecy. But Get that, Genesis 27.
May I add on? All right. A child is not accounted for his own sin until he's of the lawful age, which is the age of 12. Anything under that age is on the parents, man. All right. That's why the scriptures say, train up a child the way he should go, man. You know, so it fell on Rebecca, man, as the parent, man. You know, she took that upon herself, man. You know, ultimately being filled with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, doing his will.
This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 15. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck.
As you seeing Isaac being blind, he was more prone to touch. So that's why Rebecca took the goodly raiment of her elder son Esau.
Isaac was Yahushua too.
Come on. Isaac was Yahushua. And she took the skins of the kids, i.e. baby goats, and she put it on the back of his neck and on his hands, because, you know, if you know anybody that's blind, like I had a blind auntie, you know, when I was young, her name was Aggie Bishop. And when we would go to visit her, the first thing she would do is grab your arm and grab around the back of your neck. So that's why she did that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Rebecca did that to Jacob.
So when she felt the caveman type texture, she knew it. So he would know it was.
She knew that would fool Isaac. Keep going, Buster.
Verse 17. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me.
Okay, so Rebecca gave the savory meat to her son. She said, okay, go on in there to your daddy, you know. And he went on and did what he was told. And when he came unto his father, he said, my father, you know what I'm saying? Basically, you know, here am I. You know what I'm saying? Who art thou? Isaac was like, who is you? He was like, oh yeah, I'm Esau, your son. You know what I'm saying? Your firstborn. He says, arise and eat of the venison which I have prepared for you, that your soul may bless me. You know.
Verse 20. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, brought it to me.
So Isaac was like, okay, well, let's know our terminology in the day. Okay, I sent you about 30 minutes ago. How did you come back so quick? And Jacob had to think on his feet. Yahweh gave it to me. He put it up so I can get it.
Spiritually, he did.
Yeah, that's the point. He said because basically he was talking about the blessing was given to him. So he's like, how did you come back so quick? The Lord gave it to me. So it was all a setup for him to get the blessing.
Verse 21.
This is Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
So there you go. If anybody knows, you know, Esau, he's the most profane mother hubbard on the planet. He sold his birthright for little to nothing. But then Esau, when he sold his birthright, he had no real intention of saying, I sold my birthright. He just said what he said to get what he wanted from Jacob. So then he came back to get the blessing. So he never really had intention of giving it up. He just said that to get, because you know how Esau is. He got that microwave mentality.
That was, and what it was too, it was between Esau and the Most High. Just like today, you know, the earth been given into the hands of the wicked. And look what they're doing with it. The blessing was given to Esau with them being the firstborn, and look what they did with it. He just threw it away. Just like the spirit of Cain that was on Cain. He was offering up wicked offerings, man. And that's what Esau was doing, destroying the earth and destroying the Lord's people with their wickedness. All right? And the same thing they did with their blessing. They cast it away, disrespecting the Lord. All right? So that was a personal thing between the Most High and Esau. It showed that Esau had no faith.
And that's why he did not receive any repentance when he cried bitterly.
Right, man. That's right.
And one more thing on top of that. Do you think Esau would have came to Isaac and like, no, my father, I can't receive this blessing because I made a pact with my brother. Because what is he? He's known for truce breaking, making unrighteous decrees. Right. So he would have never came clean and told Isaac that no, I cannot accept this blessing because I made a covenant with my brother because I despise my birthright. No, he would have just took the blessing.
He just took it like in stride, like ain't nothing happened.
Verse 21 of chapter 27 of Genesis. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not.
Boom, there you go. Isaac's sight was gone, so he had to go off feeling so that he could know. Esau was hairy. You know what I'm saying? He was like a wood. I'm just saying, but you know, he was like a woolly mammoth. I mean, he was just hairy. You know what I'm saying? He was like beastly, but he was hairy. Jacob was plain, so he smooth skin. So that's why Isaac said, well, come to me, come here, so I can put my hands on you. You know, like I say, and that's in reference. That's what my auntie used to do when I was a child, because she was blind. Come here, let me touch you.
Verse 22.
And he had to be real careful. That's how serious it was about the blessing back then. Isaac was being real cautious about who he gave that blessing to. That's how much power our people had.
Verse 22. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hands, as his brother Esau's hands to water. So he blessed him.
So Jacob was like, he felt them. He was like, hold on, you feel like Esau, but you sound like Jacob. But he didn't discern him, and he couldn't tell the difference between Jacob and Esau at that time.
Verse 24. And he said, art thou my son, my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field, which Yahweh hath blessed.
So there you go. That was the third time that Isaac identified or tried to identify the distinguish between Jacob and Esau. First, he said, come here, let me touch you. The second one, he's like, okay, I touched you, but you sound like Jacob. So he went to him, and then when he touched him again, he smelled him. He said, but you smell like Esau. So his senses, well, you know what I'm saying, 3 is complete, you know, just, you know, but his senses was somewhat full, so he thought that it was 7 is complete. 7. So like, okay, so like you on that. But 3 times that was a test, and all 3 times Jacob, he passed the test of being passed off as Esau. So and in that, Isaac blessed him.
Matthew 13 and 38. The field is the world. The good seeds are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked.
So the field is the world.
So that's spiritual for today.
Yeah.
Everything that happened then is for contrast of today. The prophecies that was establishing the prophecies on the earth. Everything is going to start and end. Everything is about Jacob and Esau, man.
Good and evil.
When Israel got birthed as a nation coming out of Egypt, you know, and also as Esau got established as Edom, that's what set off the end of the world. The end of wickedness upon the earth.
And that's funny. It says the field is the world, right? Yeah. And Esau was a man of the field. The earth was given unto the hand of the wicked. All right, but it wasn't the way he wanted it to be, because he was a man of the wilderness. So what did he do? He created the whole world of wilderness to his likeness. And what is he doing? He's going around hunting the people right now. So it's all a setup by Yahweh by Shing Shai. And the funny part about it, it shows how Yahweh Shai stays 200 million steps above Esau. Esau thinks he's clever. But what? Guess what? We know Lord knew he wasn't going to give up the birthright. But guess what? He waited till Isaac lost his sight.
There you go. One of the topic is just saying. Ecclesiastes 3:11. He made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he have set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that Yahweh maketh from the beginning to the end. That's what Esau was in the dust.
That's he's in the dust, so he didn't have no understanding. He doesn't have any understanding or unction. He literally thinks this NWO thing that he's trying to put forth is really going to work in his mind. That's why the Lord said he's going to take him with his own craftiness. The Lord is 20 million thousand infinite times ahead of this devil, man.
Right. That's why Dad said, "What Esau is a man of the field today. They're worldly beasts, and the Lord set the world in their heart."
I got it.
And the scriptures say what? They what's that scripture, man? Where it say they keep us not at home.
Yeah, Habakkuk. I got to interject for you real quick.
Yeah, you're good. All right.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 12. All right, so now Esau is the man of the, he put the world in their hearts, and that goes for 2/3 of our people too.
Yeah,
it says now, it's 1 Corinthians 2:12. Now we have not received the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yahweh, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of Yahweh. So now, but that's how gives us the understanding. That's how the angel came to Rebecca first, and Rebecca understood and knew what the plan for Yahweh by Shem Shai was. Because if she didn't know that plan, would she have intervened the way she did? Probably not. So the Most High set it up. It says 13, which also we speak not in the words of which man's wisdom teacheth, but what the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receive not the things of the spirit of Yahweh, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. So Esau's not going to have that spiritual discernment, and 2/3 of our people fall under that category because why are they trying to be like their oppressor and follow after his ways? So they become in that confused state in the dust, just like how Esau is. But the ones that are of the elect are risen up out of the dust, man.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
And that's what created the whole world as a wilderness. All right, because he enlarges his desires as hell, he's bringing forth hell. All right, a wilderness means a dry place, a barren place. And this place is barren to learning. Why? Because of Esau. He's created that cloudy dust everywhere. But now the ones of the elect of the children of Israel are going to be able to come out of that dust, man. And where he's going to have to go, he's going to have to come sit down in the dust.
And is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and heap unto himself all people.
So that's him hunting around the four corners of the earth, setting traps for everybody. But the ultimate trap was set for the children of Israel, man.
I'm still trying to get that done.
What's that, brother?
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 21. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man would transgress. He that hasteth to be rich have an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. Right. What is the hasten to be rich? Wanting to eat right then. That goes back to the lentil when Jacob was making the lentil. Because if you think about it, Esau wanted his riches right then. He didn't want to wait. He was impatient. All right. So now the blessing was passed on to the children of Israel because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Holy Bible. The father's name is Yahweh. The son's name is Yahweh Shai. We need to understand that for us to come up out of the dust that this devil has created. Understand who your common enemy is.
Esau, he hastens to be rich.
Right.
You know, and the reason why I brought that first person out, the first verse out, all right, to have respect of persons is not good. All right, that's why the Lord ordained what happened, all right, for it to happen the way it did, all right, for that spirit to be on the mother being Rebecca to favor Jacob, all right, and to dress Jacob up to supplant and take the birthright, man, and for ultimately for Isaac, all right, which is Yahweh Shai, all right, to ultimately go blind, man, so he don't be in favor of who he was in favor of, and to have respect of persons.
Because of his cooking, he was kind of in favor of Esau. But Rebecca was in favor of Jacob. But the Lord set it up like that on purpose, man, for the prophecies to play out the way he designed them to play out.
Romans 9 and 20. Nay, but O man, who art thou that replies against Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
Can Esau say, well, he made me wicked? How can, you know? No.
Right, that was trying to cry out to Isaac.
Con.
Why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? So the Lord came out of Rebekah, out of Isaac. You had Jacob and Esau. He made one to honor and one to dishonor. All right. And one more precept. Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know. See, in this realm. All right. That the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. All right. So the Lord established Esau first, so he can bring them down in the last days. All right. That seesaw effect.
And the ones that are among the dead are not going to know that. They're not going to understand that. But the ones that are among the living, the elect, are going to understand the transitioning between powers and between kingdoms each time we come down. That's why we're sent out to prophesy every single time. And the Most High makes us aware every single time. Spiritual dead. Real quick on the this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, verse 7. It says, for the potter tempting soft earth fashion every vessel with much labor for our service. Yea, of the same clay, he maketh both the vessels to serve for clean uses, and likewise also such as serve to contrary. But what is the use of either sort? The potter himself is the judge. So the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the judge of all things. So he set up, out of the same lump, he set up a vessel for clean uses and a vessel for unclean uses. And you see in the separation between the two, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the judge over them both.
So there you go. You already got it set up. Prophecy.
Verse 28. It says, therefore Yahweh will give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass.
So cursed be everyone that curses thee. Who's cursing us right now? Who's been the whooping stick to lay these curses upon Israel according to Deuteronomy 28? Esau. So guess what? Curse is going to be Esau, man. She shall bring the plagues on Egypt like he did before. So now it blesses everybody, the numerable multitude that believe in the message that's being sent by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua through his elect. And that's ultimately just the children of Israel. No matter how they look in these times, that bloodline is going to go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right. That's right. All the nations, basically, all the nations, the other nations are going to serve Israel.
All
right. Through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right. And that's the prophecy of it right there that was put on Jacob. But that goes with 2nd Ezra chapter 6. You know, Esau is the end of the world.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow.
Keep on.
Right. It says the hand of man is betwixt the hill and the hand. Others question, Ezra asked thou not. So there wasn't going to be like any space. So as Esau's being pulled down, right, it's going to be a transition, and Jacob is going to be risen up.
So as in the midst, he's not gonna fall, hit the ground, and then we start raising up. We started rising up. We started rising up during this downfall.
Right now.
Right now.
The Lord said He's raising us up right now in the
Right.
spirit. Right? But as Esau, the so-called white man, trying to bring their new world order, their martial law, in the midst of that, the Lord gonna raise up the elect even more. He's gonna raise up the standard. All right. So it's gonna be a transition. You know, a change of the guard.
It's kind of like he's on that ladder trying to make his way all the way to the tip top with his new world order, trying to stomp on the head of Jacob, but Jacob gonna grab that foot. No, nigga. Not his ass on down off that ladder.
And then even in that, you know, that's like this NWO, this new world order is just another pathetic attempt at Esau trying to get back what he gave up, which is the birthright. He gave up the fatness of the earth. He gave up the corn, the wine. He gave up the things of the spirit. He gave up the kingdom. So that's why this NWO, that's why he's pushing it, so he could get back something that he gave up that through the spirit wasn't his to begin with.
If you think about it, it was given up ultimately during the time of when Cain and Abel presented their sacrifice. That was it. That was the establishment. What did he say? Why are you so rough with me? If somebody can find it, I'm roughly paraphrasing. Why are you so rough? If you had given the right sacrifice, I'd have praised him. But because you didn't, sin is waiting for you at the door. The Lord was telling them right then, this is your destiny. You're going to be the man of sin, the man of perdition, because of your wicked sacrifice. So it was established when we came here. It was Genesis chapter 4 and verse 6. And Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wrought? And why art thou countenance fallen? If thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted? If thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted? So the Lord rejected him from the beginning. All right, there go Jacob and Esau with Cain and Abel right there. All right.
This is Ezekiel 35 and 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, which was their blessing, in the time of their iniquity, of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
And what is
right
Cain?
now? They try to keep it going.
And that's being established right now. And he's still trying to have his last hurrah on the children of Israel. And he's been dealing with that instrument of destruction, the sword. What does Cain mean? Does it Cain mean start thrusting instrument?
No, you're talking about yeah, something like that, yeah.
I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
No, I don't know what I'm thinking. I think it means dagger, but I'm thinking about Sakari.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can look it up. Somebody can look it up.
Yeah, so if somebody can look it up what Cain actually means. So, and he's been killing from day one. So why do you think the Lord didn't destroy him then? It made him a vagabond throughout the earth. So that spirit of carry on all the way into Esau, all the way to the end. He established him from the beginning all the way to the end, just like how Jacob was established from the beginning, all right, through the sons of God, the Adamites with Adam, the first Adam, and they will find it with the first Adam established with the last Adam, Yahweh Shai. All right?
Verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone from the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau, his brother, came in from his hunting.
So as soon as Jacob got the blessing, here come Esau dilly-dallying up from his hunting expedition. Yeah, a second too late.
Out in the world seeking what he may devour.
Verse 31. And he also made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me.
Okay, so Esau came in thinking everything was good, all hunky-dory, peaches and cream. So when he cooked everything up, he was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get a blessing. And then when he came in to his father, continue up.
Come on. Verse 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau.
So when he came in, he was like, "Yo, Dad, I got this here for you. Who you will? You know how Jake is. You know who you will. You know." He was like, "I'm your firstborn."
Verse 33. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Right. Yea, and he shall be blessed.
So Isaac, they say he trembled exceedingly. So he was like, "What the flying flip? Because so who is this that brought me some venison? You know what I'm saying? And where is this dude that took the venison and brought it to me before? Because I have already eaten of it before. You know what I'm saying? Before, you know what I'm saying? Thou camest, and he said, I done already blessed him. I done already, like, who was that? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Continue.
Verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father.
So when Esau heard these words that the blessing was given away and not given unto him, he cried bitterly, meaning his feelings was hurt. Alligator tears, crying alligator tears, like they say. He probably was blowing, he probably was snotting, crying all hard, falling on his knees. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is when your feelings is hurt. That's a different type of cry. Keep going.
Yeah. And think about it. They cry out like let something happen to them, like when that whole Capitol riot thing happened. When the Edomite yelled out, "You treat me like a black person." Listen, that's how they cry out. They try to play the victim.
Yeah, when Esau starts to cry, somebody gonna die.
Yeah.
You might cry, somebody gonna get killed.
Yeah, funny you say that.
They're gonna attack you. Yeah, they're gonna attack you, man.
You see that they go out and like, what? You're gonna fire me? Okay. They go out to the car, come back and shoot that bitch up. They go get unemployment.
Verse 35. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing.
So well, your brother came in and pulled a quick one. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he came in with subtlety. I mean, he came in with cunningness. You know what I'm saying? And got the blessing.
And I know why else. Guess why else Esau was hurt? Because guess what? Revelation 12:9, the old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. Now he was the most subtle of the beasts of the field. But Yahweh Shemel Shah put the spirit in Jacob to subdue the most subtle beast by supplanting him, man.
Mm.
So it was all set up through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. That lets us know what we're driven by and what he's driven by.
So basically, for the first time in history, he made Jacob slick a can of oil.
I was just about to say that.
Because the old school saying says you can't slick a can of oil. You know what I'm saying? I had a teacher that say stuff like you can't flim flam. You know what I'm saying? You can't con the con man. Well, that was the first time it ever happened. But it happened under the power and spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah.
Yeah, and also Esau was upset because of the blessing. They were the firstborn. Usually the firstborn to get the blessing. And so the Lord switched that. He had the one that was born second get the blessing. That's like creating day and night.
And that also explains the fighting in the womb.
Right. The Lord goes from Esau goes from day to night. The Lord goes from night to day. So he's doing the same thing. I'm gonna get this
and it's English. It's just written from left to right.
Yeah.
Hebrew is from right to left.
Yeah. But the point is, the Lord created the same way he's setting up the kingdom is the same way he set up the process or the chemistry of Esau to Jacob from night to day, from their rulership to ours. It couldn't go the other way around. It couldn't be forever that way. You know what I mean? Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. See how you're comparing it? I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So the Lord created evil, which is Esau. He created good, which is Jacob. All right, the same way he created day and night. The sun gonna shine forever.
More on that out.
Interjection.
One more. Proverbs 16:4. Yahweh made all things for himself. Yahweh have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
So the Most High done made everything for itself.
How about Esau born? As soon as he be born speaking lies, he created them to be the wicked, the bad guy, man. They just can't get it.
There's something that grows darkness on the earth.
I would say basically, before you make your point, basically you got the protagonist and you got the antagonist. The antagonist is Esau, the protagonist is Jacob. Good guy, bad guy.
The forming of the universe, right? What did it start with? Did it start with light? No, it started with darkness, right? And he said, let there be light. We're watching the same thing happen right now. We're in darkness, right? But let there be light, meaning rise up Jacob. Jacob is the light that's risen up by Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 5. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Paul was just saying this is not our kingdom. So don't expect to be established in this wickedness and darkness. All right, because we're contrary to darkness. We're the children of the light. He said, but the night is far spent. But now it's time for the day. It's time for the sun to be risen up. Yahweh Shai, man. All right, so now we're entering into the day. And once the daytime hit, that noonday hit, the missiles come.
Nocturnal animals cannot reside in the day. Things that are made for the night are not going to reside in the day. They can't thrive in the day. That's why the scriptures say our people are drunken in the night. Like, and they thrive in the day as if they're in the night. But we're going into the day now. But they still living like they're in the night. You know, wickedly in the mind. So there's a shift happening, man. And that's what we were witnessing when the Lord created Jacob and Esau, the same way he created the sun and the moon.
Appreciate it. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 3, starting at verse 2. Beware of dogs, beware of evil workers, beware of concision, for we are the circumcision which worship Yahweh in spirit and rejoice in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai and have no confidence in the flesh. Back on what the elder said, you got Esau being carnal. You see what I'm saying? You got 2/3 of our people being carnal as well. We don't rejoice in the flesh because we know that we are under circumcision. Lord willing, we are that number. All right, so if you rejoice in the flesh, what are you rejoicing in? The chains of darkness. Come on, man, you're in the dark, but if you're rejoicing in the spirit, that's the light. That's the energy that's what's inside you. That's what Yahweh by Shem Yahushai deals with. What does Esau deal with? He deals with the flesh. That's why he try to manipulate the brain and use fear and uses darkness to control the people.
Using various frequencies and different hertz to control the people.
Jeremiah 17:5. Well, he's just using lies. Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and that maketh flesh his arm, whose heart departed from Yahweh.
So cursed be the man who maketh man or flesh his arm. Meaning, if you trusting in man gonna let you down. If you trusting in sin, you trusting in Esau's kingdom, all that's gonna fail. It's gonna let you down. It'll cause you to go in error. You know what I'm saying? Or go in contradiction, or in contrary towards Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. So if you make your if you put your trust in man, you're gonna fail every time. You have to trust in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai so that you can make it. Because if you don't trust in him, you have no hope, you have no stability, you're not anchored, you're not established, you're not confirmed.
So that's just like basically, if you're in darkness, somebody else is in the darkness with you, they calling out, you trying to follow their direction. They don't even know where the fuck they going.
Exactly.
This is 1 Corinthians 3:19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Most High. He takes the crafty in their own craftiness. So right, Esau think he's slick, he's sliding, gliding. The Most High got him in the trick bag. The Most High finna bust up his whole new world of tips.
Right, same way the blessing got taken from him. Jacob is gonna happen now in the end of the day. And Jacob represents really Yahushua.
And go back to the serpent being having to eat up the dust, being have to crawl around on their belly, being in a state of confusion. All right, so now if he's the master of confusion,
and he can put everybody else in a confused state, that literally makes everybody think that he's on top. Right. And he uses lies and trickery and craftiness, right, to promote, to create gross darkness. What he said, the eye is the light of the body. So if he covers your eye and your light be darkness, how evil is that darkness? Meaning you're dwelling in wickedness. You don't even realize it.
In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18. While we look not at the things that which are seen, but at things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal. But the things which are not seen are eternal.
So the things that are not seen are eternal. Like
that's our blessing.
That's our blessing. When Yahweh Shai shows up, we're gonna see it. We're gonna visually see it.
Right. Esau's kingdom was temporal. Jacob's kingdom is eternal. That's what the brother's saying. That's deep, man.
So basically, the stuff you see right now, like they say, here today, gone tomorrow. Well, according to the Most High time, it's here today, gone today. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be gone.
And that's why Yahweh Shai didn't bow down to Satan, man. When he was being tempted, because he know that the kingdoms that what Satan was trying to show him and saying to worship him, Yahweh Shai knew that it was temporal, man. That's why he says, tempt not the Lord, man. All right, because we ought to worship Yahweh Shai because Yahweh is eternal, man. He exists, man.
Can you imagine Satan talking to the light, saying, if you worship me, I will give you all this darkness? What sense does that make? Lord was like, come on, man. I'm the son of Yahweh. I am the light. So what am I going to do with this darkness? But expose the darkness. I'm gonna shine through this darkness. It won't be no more darkness. You get what I'm saying? So the Lord knew. Don't tempt the Lord Yahweh Shai, because he knew, just like how you said, it's temporal.
And our people, that's why our people love this society, man. All right, they always want to say, I want to enjoy my life while I'm still living, because they thinking that this place is what it is, man. But this place is temporal. This ain't the end. This ain't all what it is. All right, after you die, you begin to live, man. All right, because the Lord will give you another body. He said the kingdom is going to be established on the earth, man.
Real quick. This is Numbers 24:17. I shall see him, but not now. See, right now we see Esau's kingdom. So who's it talking about? It's talking about Yahweh Shai. I shall, and this is in the book of Numbers. I shall see him, in the book of Numbers really used to be called the book of the princes. All right, they named it Numbers later with the Masoretes. I shall behold him, but not now, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy the children of Seth. And Edom shall be a possession of all the children of Seth. That means all the nations. And Edom, the land of Edom, shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly. All right, so that's when we're gonna get our blessing. And Esau, the so-called white man, they're gonna lose everything they stole, and they're gonna lose that land over there. That's named after them. All right, from the rooter to the tutor. But the Lord's raising up Yahweh Shai. He's gonna catch him off guard, man.
Backing up you on the bar. This is Job chapter 19, verse 25. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand in the latter day upon the earth. Right. And although after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see Yahweh, and whom I shall see for myself with mine eyes shall behold, not another, though my reins be consumed within me. So Job was like, even though this body is gonna die, with these eyes, meaning this same spirit is gonna be put in another body to see his Redeemer standing upon the earth. And the children of Israel being risen up, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and rising up, giving praise unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Which that's going into reincarnation, man. Just like Yahweh Shai told the disciples, all right, you will follow me in the regeneration, man. Because Yahweh Shai know that he said, even though he told them y'all gonna perish, but y'all gonna come back and prophesy again to see his the salvation, all right, of him coming out of the skies, man. All right, so though it tarried, Terry Long, what is it? You got it?
Come on, I got you.
That's the spirit.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it.
So the vision is yet for a while, man, which is the kingdom being established and Esau taken out of place of rulership, man. All right, so that prophecy is going to be fulfilled when Yahweh Shai come back to deliver the hopeful elect, man. Those his little ones that believe in him, man. All right, and to put the shame 2/3 in these heathens, man.
Right, that's the definition of the word hope. That's the hope for something, the hope in a promise that was made to you, right, by someone. You know what I mean? That's hope. So the Lord gave us the spirit of hope, and that's the difference between Israel, Jacob, and Esau.
Because Esau give you doubt.
Right?
Esau give you doubt. He give you lies and depression. All right, and 2/3 of our people, they drunken with this, with the lies and the philosophy of Esau, man. Because they start once they are drunken by Esau, they believe in what his sayings is, man.
This is the book of Ephesians 4:22 and 23. That ye put on off concerning the former conversation, the old man which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewing in the spirit of your mind.
So what it mean? To put off the old man, all right? Which is the old man, what's what? Of this society, of this world, man.
The planting, Jacob, he became what? Israel. Right, man. He became Israel, like you said. Putting off this old man and putting on the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, becoming what? Yasha'Allah instead of Jacob. You know? And Yasha'Allah means what? He is a prince, a son of Yahweh. And through Yahweh Shai, we become sons of Yahweh again, attaining unto that promise, that hope that was given to Jacob, the kingdom. That's right. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Genesis 32 and 28.
That's right. Nothing Esau can do, man. The prophecy's already set. For Jacob to rule.
Genesis 32 and 28. And he said, the name should be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with Yahweh Shai, and with men, and has prevailed.
There you go, man. The Lord changed Jacob's name to Israel. All right, and that's what we've become now. The Lord said, once you step out here to do this work, and you step into this truth, in the Lord's spirit, you become a new creature. All right, a new creation, man. All right, brother.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 14. Wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. Verse 15. Seize in that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the times, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is.
So it says, those that are sleeping, rise from the dead, meaning wake up from this place spiritually. Wake up. Come from among this place and be separated. Walk as a child that walks in the light and in the light and in the day, rather than a child that walks in the night and in the darkness. Be circumspect, man. You're supposed to pay attention to what Esau got going on around here. You know what I'm saying? But our people, they sleep. And then when you try, they sleep and they refuse to wake up. Then when you try to help them wake up, they look at you as if you're doing something wrong because you're shedding light on the darkness to help them so that they can see and go on the right path, but they don't want it.
And they sleep to the promise. They'll sleep to the prophecies. The Lord told us to watch for the prophecies and the promise of the kingdom. He gave us signs to look for, and they sleep to it. That's it.
All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 4. Knowing thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth.
Knowest thou not?
Knowest thou, Shalaki. This is on the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
So knowest this thou not since the days of old. So even back in the days of old, the ancient days, just know this: wickedness never ever triumphed and succeeded and went for very long periods being unchecked. It was always a quick time. It was always short. It was never ever eternal. But righteousness is going to be eternal. Righteousness is going to be established upon the earth forever, and no more wickedness is ever going to come up to challenge that. Thus saith Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. So Esau's new world wickedness that he's going to try to produce or put forward is not going to come to fruition. It's basically it's a pipe dream. But this new world folly that Esau has is just his attempt at getting back what he gave up, which is the promise, the birthright.
It's Second Peter 3:8. But beloved, there you go, bro. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
There you go. 1,000 years to us is one day to the Lord.
Right? So Esau hasn't been ruling that long.
It ain't been here that long.
To us, it's a long period of time. But to the Lord, it's only been a little bit of time.
It's been mere moments.
Like 2 days, 2.5 days.
It ain't even been that long. So we think, oh man, the Lord was here 2,000 years ago, all this here stuff. It ain't been that long ago. All in the Lord's timing, the flood, all that stuff, 2 days. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even happened. So that's why the wickedness is gonna be gone like that, but righteousness is gonna be forever. What was that other verse you read up under that? Go back, Kusha. I thought in 2 Peter, 1,000 years is as one day.
Oh yeah. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise. He done been saying and telling he gonna grease up Esau and get rid of wickedness on the earth.
Right, and give the kingdom to Jacob.
And give us the kingdom. He done been saying this. He done said this so many times through so many various methods. So guess what? The Most High is not lying. He gonna keep his end of the bargain. Come on.
This is Numbers chapter 23, and I'm gonna start at verse 19. Yahweh is not a man that he shall lie, neither the son of man that he shall repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
So the Most High is not a man that he's gonna lie. So he's not one that like they say, tell a story or be fibbing. He's not one that's gonna go back on his word. He said it's gonna happen. Like the T.I. song say, if I said it, then I meant it. And what? Stand up. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what he's saying. Lord, hey, I said it's gonna happen. Period. I mean, you got a problem with it or not?
This is Luke chapter 10 and 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. And just like the brother speaking on, man, the Lord word is not going to come back void. He's not a God of power that's going to lie. All right. And as you crucified our Lord and Savior, all right, as the beginning, man, it's always set up from the beginning, from Cain and Abel, all the way till you crucifying our big brother Yahweh Shai, all right, to where you're falling quick, man, like lightning, man, quick. All right,
hurry up.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 20. Verse 19, all right, it says, fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked, for there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out.
Be put out. Be put out. That's what it calls the Illuminati. Darkness is gonna be put out.
Like slap out. You know what I'm saying? You know how easy it is to put a candle out? It's gone. It's out. It's over. You wave your hand too close to it, blow the light out. So it's so like what the brother Amwan was saying. Don't fret not yourself for the wickedness of an evil man, because it's easily to be stomped out.
What do the word fret mean? It means to be afraid. So just be not afraid of evil men.
Exactly. It take a little battle to take down what's right and the truth. It take a little fight, but when it comes out in the wickedness, out of the way with no problem. Quick.
Second Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Once again, right? Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. All these words are faithful and true. You know, the promise that's given to Jacob. All right, and that the Lord is going to bring down Esau. It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee." See, people like Biden, they got all these imaginations and plans against the children, against our people. But the Lord said we're not supposed to fear that. We're supposed to focus on the promise and the blessing. We focus on that. We know for sure that the Lord is about to make a change of the kingdoms right now. That's what it's really about. All right. So He's gonna give us our blessing. Our blessing deals with spiritual power, man. That'll trump Esau's blessing, the sword, and the gun. Right? It says, and Esau's other blessing was to what? To rule with deception. And the Lord gave us truth. And truth trumps the lies any day. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. The ones that don't believe is going to happen. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Right? And their hurtful works are fulfilled. So Esau's works are fulfilled. Ever since the promise that was given to him with Jacob and Isaac, they had to fulfill certain amount of wickedness on the earth with their blessing, the sword. All right, their hurtful works. The word hurtful goes back to being wicked. Their works are fulfilled. So now it's time for Jacob to rule.
And righteous.
And righteous,
truth.
man.
Quick interjection.
Right, man.
This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. Okay, it says wickedness has polluted the whole world, the earth. It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Because Esau, known as Edom, which is known as the wicked, he's ruling in wickedness right now. The earth is given it to him for a period of time, man, until his season is up.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come unto you from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. For thy enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. God, and you know, like the brothers was just speaking on, you know, Esau is about to be brought down quickly, man. All right, and it says suffer patiently. You know what I'm saying? So just enduring into that time is just in part of enduring into the end, man, until we see that destruction and them being brought down happens, man.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 36. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me?
So basically, to a degree, Esau went to ad hominem attacks. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, ain't he rightly named Jacob? You know what I'm saying? You already know he's slick. You know what I'm saying? You gave him the right name. He done suspended me 2 times. No, first off, Esau, you gave away what was valuable because you did not value it. You did not care. You know what I'm saying?
And that just show that Jacob is quick on his toes. He's a thinker. Esau is not. He don't appreciate. He basically a bastard child that's ungrateful of the things that was given to him, but it was taken away from him.
It shows what he thinks. He thinks the same as Jacob, but Jacob thinks with righteous discernment, and Esau thinks with a wicked discernment.
Jacob thinks with patience. Esau thinks with haste. Esau didn't want to wait. If Esau would have heard that blessing, and it would have been the vision that he had to go through this to get there. Oh no! Give me the other thing. Give me the other thing. Because it's in his spirit to move in haste. It's in his spirit not to be patient. right? So therefore, he didn't. That's why he despised his birthright. That's why he really despised the blessing, but he wanted another blessing. He didn't want the blessing that was given to Jacob. He doesn't want to be righteous.
But verse 37, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made them thy Lord.
Hey, look at the definition for supplant so everybody can understand. You know, supplant doesn't mean to swindle somebody. Yeah. It means to take the place of. This is a supplant. It means what? It says I quab, right? I quab. It says to seize by the heel, to circumvent, to restrain. But that's what the Lord said we're going to do. We're going to pull them down. He said, by the hand of my people Israel. All right? So I just want to be clear on that. You know what I mean? Jacob wasn't slick. We're not, you know what I mean? No shyster. People always say that, but what it is, it means to literally take the place of somebody else's seat and authority, to take them out of their seat. And that's what Yahweh Shah is going to do. To supplant, to circumvent, to take by the heel. All right? To overreach, to attack at the heel. What did the Lord say? He's going to destroy them at the feet. And that's in Daniel, I think, chapter 2. When the Lord is going to raise up a stone that's going to destroy all their kingdom.
That stone there's Yahweh Shah.
Right, man.
And that just goes to show you how in Daniel chapter 2, they started at the head of the statue. Normally you start at the feet and build your way up, but no, it was prophesied for the head all the way down to the feet. Right, and that's where we're gonna take them at. Going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, Jacob's hand held betwixt the heel of Esau, and you're witnessing that transition, us taking that seat and taking that seat that's rightfully ours.
Right, and that's symbolic of you take a statue and you knock off the head of it, but the rest of the statue is still there. But if you trip it up at the feet, the whole statue is gonna fall and crumble on the ground. All together. That's what the Lord is saying. All right.
Verse 37 of chapter 27 of Genesis. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
All right, so Isaac was like, well, I done made your brother, Esau, I done made your brother, you know what I'm saying, Lord over all his brethren, you know what I'm saying, and I've given unto him service. I've blessed him with a great blessing. I have given corn and wine unto him and sustained him. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, so after I bless your brother, what do you expect me to do for you now?
And that goes to the children of the promise, the land flowing with milk and honey.
God.
That's what that stems back to the children of the promise.
God. So Isaac was saying, well, what you expect me to do for you now? What do you want me to do for you?
Verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
See, his feelings was still hurt. He wanted a blessing. You done blessed Jacob. Give me one too. He was still crying and blubbering. Because he, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And that's even in now. Let's say you at a company, you working. You get promoted over Esau. He gonna have a problem because you got the position that he wanted, but he really ain't qualified for the position. But because of who he is, he feels he's supposed to get that over you. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? See?
Verse 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have.
Hey, let's stop there. Let's stop there. Get First Maccabees. Let's get Revelation chapter 6.
First Maccabees what?
Revelation chapter 6 verse 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say
one thing from the red.
Yeah.
Red
I got you.
First Maccabees.
First Maccabees. Yeah. This is when Esau lived out their blessing of the sword. All right. And it happened. It really started. Actually, go ahead, read that a little bit more. Yeah, it really started in First Kings, 2 Kings 8 and 16. Yeah, 2 Kings 8. This is when it started.
Verse 40.
I think it was around 845. I think it was around 845 BC.
I got it. What you want first?
It's during the time of Joram, King Joram.
You want to read the Genesis first?
Yeah, read that verse you just read, and then go to the next verse.
And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion.
See, when they gonna have the dominion? See, when is Esau gonna start ruling? Go ahead.
That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Right, the yoke that King David put on. They broke that yoke off. The King David, they set up garrisons around Esau, and also with Solomon. All right. Now, can you so that's when they started ruling. When they broke the yoke off the neck, the yoke that was put on. Go ahead.
And that was that crying out saying that we are impoverished. And then they said we shall build a desolate cities.
No, that happened with Herod.
Come on, slide.
Yeah, let's get 2 Kings 8 real quick. 16. Yeah, 16, I think the point. Yeah, 19. Yeah. Okay.
This is 2 Kings chapter 8. I'm gonna start at verse 19.
Right, this is when that prophecy came out. Came to pass.
It says, "Yet the Lord will not destroy Judah for David his servant's sake, as he promised to give to him always a light and to his children. In his days, Edom revolted from under the hands of Judah."
So in his days, whose days? Go up here.
Verse 16.
Yeah,
It says, "In the 50th year of Joram."
Yeah, in the fifth year.
In the 5th year of Joram.
Yeah, Joram. That was around 845 BC. BCE.
So like the son of Ahab, the king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, being then king of Judah.
Right, it's showing you both sides, who was ruling over Israel and who was ruling over Judah at the same time. You can use those as time markers, like a timeline. All right, Jehoshaphat, and that's when Esau broke. Well, they established the they kind of really broke their what you call that? The treaty with us, man. They had a treaty with us, a peace treaty. All right, they revolted from under us, started establishing their own king, and they established a peace treaty with Israel. And they broke that peace treaty in 586 with Babylon. All right, go ahead, brother.
All right.
But they established their own kingdom, trying to set up their own dominion.
It says, Jehoshaphat being then king of Judah, Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. It says, 32 years old was he when he began to reign. So I'm going to jump down back to verse 20. 2 Kings chapter 8, verse 20. In his days, Edom revoked.
So in his days, this is when Edom broke the yoke off their neck. All right, and they began to have dominion. They started trying to establish a common rule. Like, yeah, we want to establish a treaty with you. Go ahead.
It says, in his days, Edom revoked from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves.
See, they set their own king up. All right, go ahead. All right. And then they tried to establish their own treaty with Jehoshaphat, which was broken later on.
So Joram went over to Zarar, and all the chariots with him, and he rose by night and smote the Edomites, which compassed him about, and the captains of the chariots and the people flee into their tents.
Keep going.
Yet Edom revoked from under the hand of Judah unto this day.
See, they revolted from under the hand of Judah until this day. That's what we're witnessing. They're revolting against us. All right, go ahead.
Then Libron,
okay,
Libnah revoked at the same time.
So all these nations started revolting against us, man. All right, even Moab. Moab revolted against us too. If you go back like one more chapter, I mean. I think it's like a couple chapters. We're going to say Moab. Where you at? 2 Kings?
Chapter 8.
All right, well, go ahead, brother. Who got the next precept?
You want First Maccabees?
Let's get First Maccabees.
First Maccabees what?
Yeah. 1 and 1.
This First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
Right, let's see when he got the blessing, when he got the sword.
And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead.
Right, man. I want to read this too, man, because this is about Misha or Moab, real fast. 2 Kings 3 and 5. But it came to pass when Ahab was dead that the king of Moab rebelled against the king of Israel. See, so all these nations started coming against us, man. And the Lord said, I sent the ambassador among the heathen. That's Esau. They leading the charge. Go ahead, brother, my bad. Let's start again.
And this is First Maccabees 1 and 1.
Yep,
and
right.
It happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
Right. Y'all want to answer it? You want to do it? Break it down.
This the Greek coming in
325 BC.
No, it'd be 334.
334.
Yeah, good try to. Well, it'd be really Alexander was born in 356 in Pella, Greece. And then the next thing you know, around 336, they made him king of Greece. And then in 334, he started the war against the Persians. And it was a 4-year siege. And then in 330, that's when Darius III, that's what they're speaking of Persia, lost the kingdom to the Greeks, to Alexander.
And Alexander the first over Greece, verse 2, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth.
Right, man. Go ahead. I think it should be small on there.
That's that sword.
That's that sword, yeah.
Verse 3, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
There you go, man.
Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
Right, man. So let's go to Revelation now. Go ahead, bro. What was you saying?
Also in Daniel, when it talks about the he-goat, that was Alexander also that went around throughout the four corners of the earth, trampling on all these other nations. All right, this is Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat up thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Yeah, see that? That's talking about Alexander, man, and them Greeks, the red Edomites. And they said they were given their blessing, the sword. See, the Lord put that sword into their hand, the military tactic, and military might, and money. All right. We ain't gotta get Daniel chapter 8. We can't go into that, but that's prophecy.
Right.
But we're trying to prove when Esau got their sword, the blessing, and what did they do with it? We're in the last hoorah of Esau. Let's see what that sword is. Get Daniel 6 and what is it, 11? I think it is. We're talking about the pale horse.
Revelation 6 and 11.
All right, what I said, Daniel?
Yeah. Revelation chapter 6, verse 8. And I looked and beheld a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
See that? There you go. So it started from the Greek Empire all the way till now. So they're bringing what? Death. And what's going to follow? Hell, which is nothing but sorrow and destruction. The Lord said they increase their desires as hell and is as death. All right, go ahead. So anywhere that in the book of Daniel chapter 7 say when the ancient Babylon was established, they put the heart of the mind of a man into it. So the heart of Esau is into these Europe, America, this bitter ass land.
All right, it says
paganism.
It says, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword.
Right, the fourth part represents north, east, west, and south. Fourth part, all four corners of the earth to kill with the sword. That's why this is the judgment that's coming upon the whole earth in the hour of temptation. All right, go ahead.
And with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
Right, but what did the Lord say? What did I say? No weapon formed against thee shall prosper. See, this is but the difference is when it's Jacob's time to start ruling and get their promise, their blessing, Esau's weapon or blessing is going to be non-effective against Jacob. All right, let's get that real quick and get back to you. All right. All right. That's right, man. When they broke the yoke from off their neck, they came out, and then what? They came after us, man. They try to set up their own dominion. Okay, and then you have when they fell after Domitian. Yeah, all right, after Domitian, in the Titus, the Vespasian dynasty. And then they rose again, the dragon, in 1266 AD. All right.
This is Isaiah chapter 44, verse 17.
So Esau, the real zombie, just won't die.
No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and the righteousness is of the Lord, saith Yahweh.
Right. So the Lord doing Esau the same way the Lord did the spiritual demon Satan when he told him to try his servant Job. We represent that today. Yahweh, the hated. We represent Job today. So the Lord like, yeah, Esau, why don't you try them? Try my elect. With your damn weapon, with your swords. It's not going to work. You know, it's going to be non-effective. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reacheth unto the clouds, that he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Right,
they which
the excellency, that was in this white man's world. I'd say, right, you know, Esau.
This technology.
Yeah, technology, man.
Thinking, hey, he got all the power, man. You know, by the great works that he do with his technology, man. You know, thinking that, hey, this place gonna continue on forever, man. 2/3 of our people think that this devil is gonna continue on with his madness and his devices, man. All right, but it has an end. All right, the technology ain't perfect. It ain't 100%. It ain't great. That fell every day.
Yeah. And then look where they're trying to take people into space now. They're like, we're moving on. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
You're just making a pathetic attempt to do whatever it is you're doing. You basically it's like in a fight, you just flailing. You ain't hitting nothing, but you just flailing. And you think because you see a lot of stuff going past your face that you landing, and the one you swinging at just standing back, just moving out the way. Every now and then a step whap you and step back in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 5 and verse 4. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swear falsely by my name. And ultimately, Esau, all right, being the so-called Caucasian race, and he swears falsely by the Lord's name, man. Hey, putting in God he trusts, all right, on the dollar bill, all right, hey, making it seem as if he is a godly being or in a godly nation, when he's not. He's all contrary to the works and the doings of God, man.
Right. That's why to live that he had to present himself as being God, according to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. So he said in God we trust, when he trusts in himself and his money and his riches. But what scripture says
that was Eisenhower.
Precept. This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked, it says, the wicked, though the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahweh. God is not in all his thoughts.
Right.
Just to back up the brother Thanyala, man, just to show that Esau, which is the forefather of the Caucasian race, all right, in their thoughts is not of the Lord, nor to seek them, man. Right. All right, they want to basically indulge in idols, man, and worship false gods that have nothing to do with the Lord, man.
Right, but they believe that they're God. You know, but they feel like they can make all the rules and control everything. They say, "Who seeth us?" They don't believe in the Most High.
They think they hiding, but the Most High, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. He see everything, so you ain't hiding. And you can tell that they're an ungodly nation because anybody with any type of moral compass, when they see that, when we show them that the white man's handiwork, we show them that poster, they quick to say, "Oh, we didn't do that." But any righteous beings, like you got to understand, like watch old movies, people have certain type of ethics.
So if they say there was stolen land, they would have fear on dwelling on that land if it was stolen, even if it was stolen by their ancestors. They wouldn't want to partake in the sins of their ancestors. But they're such an ungodly nation, they feel like they're as gods that they won't be judged for the things that they've done in the past. They don't feel like anything that's gonna. They're like, oh, that's how all that's over and done with. But they keep trying to keep you in remembrance of 9/11. So if you truly disagree with that, then you wouldn't want to have nothing to do with America as it is today.
This is Psalm chapter 49, verse 11. The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations.
And that's why that was done, so their houses could continue forever, so they can have the houses that they have today. That was the whole purpose of the whole slave trade, and to build up America. Why? So they can reap the fatness off it. They're born, man. It's a thing I saw on Facebook, right? Where the white dude, he was a coach, and he said, "Oh, okay, yo." Where the Edomite dude, he was a coach. He might even been a Jake. We don't even know, but he said he called out certain things. He said, if you grew up with both of your parents, move forward. They were running a race, and after he quoted all these different things, all the Edomite children were up way further ahead than the Israelite children. And he said, if you think, he's like, yeah, you might be running the same race, but if you think that this is a shame, some of y'all got ahead just because you were born into it. And that was his statement that he was making. He said, guarantee if all of y'all started from the same starting point, that the Jakes will overtake y'all. But y'all were born into a system that provided for you before you even had. You didn't do. He said you didn't do anything to get into the position that you're in right now. It was all set up, and for you to want to take part in this, that shows the unrighteousness of this nation of people.
Proverbs 16:5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination. There's an abomination right there. Catch it. There's an abomination. Golden girl. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished.
So, and don't they say, I'm proud to be an American? They're so proud of this establishment nation of bloodshed. All right, but they're an abomination. That's why this is an abominable place to the Most High, man. The Most High. The reason why, listen. When blood is shed on the land, the scripture says you have to cleanse the land with the blood. There's been so much blood shed on this land that it has to be destroyed so much that it's not going to ever be inhabited again because the amount of bloodshed. Because the Lord's going to totally consume this place. Because that fire is going to be the cleansing agent. And it has to burn so much for the amount of bloodshed that's not going to even be, the smoke is going to be going on for a long period of time.
Smoking like a chimney.
Yeah, a long time ago days. Yeah.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob. Slakia. Genesis chapter 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Okay, so there you go. So this is where you find the hatred between Esau and Jacob. Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing. He was mad because he truly didn't intend to give his birthright away. He just said that for topical or for aesthetic purposes. But when the blessing was truly given out and he found out that he had no part in it and it did not involve him, now all of a sudden he hated his brother. Now he want to kill his brother, and Esau's been killing his brother ever since then. Look at what's going on with our people right now. The new world order is what? To kill Jacob, to establish Esau, for him to get some kind of pseudo blessing back that he once gave away. You got a precept? I got
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 4 or verse 3. Verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
set thy face against Mount Seir, meaning prophesy against the border of wickedness, the tabernacles of Edom. Let them know that they're going down. Let them know that they're going to slavery. Let them know that the sun hate them. Let them know that the Most High hate them. When I say the sun, I'm talking about the regular sun and Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh hate them. You know what I'm saying? Just to make that clear, because, you know, we have lack of brain waves. But anyways, but, you know, set our face. And that's what we do. We got our face set against Mount Seir. That's why we come out here week in and week out and prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom.
Romans 9 and 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Jacob, Isaac, for the children being not yet born, you say Esau didn't want to give away the birthright. We don't know if that be true or not, but it was according to the father's will, either way. You know, it's just for the you was correct, what I'm saying. For the children being not yet born, neither have we done any good or evil. Those are before they was even born. The Lord had to set up. That the purpose of Yahweh, according to election, might stand. Not of works, but of him that calleth. It is said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, right? See, the elder, Esau, is set up to serve the younger, Jacob. As it is written, so it was written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? God forbid. For he said unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Meaning, he's going to forgive who he chooses to forgive. And he chose not to forgive Esau. All right.
So that's what you saw. You pretty much screwed.
Keep that power, y'all. Keep fighting.
You ain't finished up.
Oh, no, I got some more. It says, Ezekiel 35 and 4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamities, and the time that their iniquity had an end.
So,
Go ahead.
So there you go. The Lord has laid Esau's heritage, all that waste. He's like, okay, I'm gonna throw you down completely, and I'm gonna also hold it against you because you've had hatred towards your brother. You continually to kill your brother, even when the iniquity that our people once committed had an end. Esau, you kept going. You kept on oppressing and repressing our people, and you still doing it to this day. So the Lord is gonna make a full end with you. You know what I'm saying? Your whole new world failure that you calling a new world order, it's going to fail. So I keep saying it's a new world failure because it's going to fail. It is not going to prosper. This is the end for you. It's over. The dream is dead.
And the Lord, if you think about how they were fighting in the womb. The earth is the womb now. We're still fighting. And Esau tried to shoot out first, like, hey, I'm the victor. So guess what? It's the same thing. Now they try to shoot out first. They try to erect themselves within the earth, and that's how they're going to be. And we're going to be holding on their heel, just like when we came out of the room of Rebecca, hold on the heel when Yahweh Shai shows up. Just like Isaac gave the blessing to Jacob, Yahweh Shai is going to give a blessing to Jacob again.
Mainly by the heel means taking them down. They're talking about Yahweh Shai taking them down. You know, and the earth is like a womb, man.
So yet again,
we're still fighting until this day.
So yet again, your new world failure is a pathetic attempt for you to try to get back something that was never ever really yours to begin with. So you're going to be taken down by the heel. So basically, you're going to be supplanted, meaning you're going to be replaced. You're going to be forcefully removed out of your position that you're trying to fight and clamor and fight and claw and teeth to stay in.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse 12. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it.
Abomination, does it? Yeah, demon on. Good job. Good doggy.
Look at verse 13. And I will make it desolate for teeming, and Zeb the Dan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury. And they shall know they shall know my vengeance. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh.
God, and that's going to take place when we have them in captivity, right? Going into Lazarus, and Abraham bosom, and the rich man in hell, man. So Esau going to experience that vengeance according to the Lord's anger when he in slavery, man. All right, because just like the scripture says, curse thee that have cursed thee, and bless thee that have blessed thee. All those curses that came upon us is going to come upon Edom and the other nations, man.
And think about it. It said he have lifted their hand up against them that have not resisted you. But look at when Jacob came back to the land, how he sent everybody before him bearing gifts to Esau, man. And our people still do that to this day, man. And he continues to try to persecute our people no matter how much we try to. So that's why the Lord said, no, you're going to do it according to my anger. Because he didn't put the spirit in us to rise up against Esau and afflict Esau or have that hatred towards Esau like how he has towards us. We hate all wickedness, you know what I'm saying? But the Lord will put it in the spirit of us according to his anger, and we're going to tear their asses up.
This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So that's what the Lord is saying unto the nation of Edom. All right, because of the violence that y'all have towards the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and history shows what y'all have did unto us from all the way from Antiochus the Fourth to all the way up to now, man. All right, having us in slavery, all right, rape, rob, and murdering our the men, the women, and children, man. So, but that's why the Lord is saying he's gonna cut y'all off forever. Y'all not gonna. It's not gonna be a spirit to be able to be placed in a vessel on this earth, man.
Isaiah 11:13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
So there goes that hatred between the northern and the southern kingdom. The top two tribes, Judah and Ephraim, man.
Yeah, but then it said earlier, we said Esau revolted against Judah until this day. So the adversaries of Judah, that's Esau. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. The Lord bringing that peace between us again as one nation. All right. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. What does that mean? That means these two nations, the nation of Israel, the northern and southern kingdom, they're going to come together and they're going to fight against the Philistines, the African nation. All right. And they shall spoil them of the east together. So we're going to be together and be fighting against these nations, man. And spoiling them nations, taking all their lands from them and stuff. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab. All right, and that goes into Moab, China, and Russia building their damn NATO. So they're getting ready for slavery too. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. So that's all these damn nations, the Japanese too. All right, so they're all going to obey what the hell we say in the kingdom, man. All right, and our adversary, our enemy is going to be cut off, like the brothers of Bar was reading.
So anime gonna have biblical characters.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Right. That happened with Herod the Great.
Even before they came into rulership, into power.
That's right.
They had that thought.
Yeah.
All right. But this is what the Lord said.
Yep.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever.
Right. They always been trying to rebuild Edom. They can't. That land is going to be given to Israel. All right. So Herod found out that he was an Edomite. He was the son of Antipater the Edomite. So he wanted to go back and rebuild Edom. So that's why he started making his ranks up in the Roman Empire. All right, and even went to started slaughtering people. He married I think Aristotle the second. He married his sister named Miriam, and they were the last kings of Judah. All right, the last kings of Judah, and Herod took the throne and became governor over Judah, over Israel and Judah, Jerusalem. You know, he wanted to be king. He thought he was the king. But we had a king. That's why he said, yo, what? There's a king born. Who? His name is Yahushua. I got to meet him. Where he at? And they wanted to kill him because Esau wanted to be king. And they wanted to go back and rebuild those desolate places. But the Lord said, nah, nope. That heritage is going to be wasted, man. All right? So everything they're aiming for, their new world order is all going to be wasted and destroyed. So, and I truly believe if they were to get, the Lord was to let them establish their new world order, they would go back and make Edom the capital. They'll probably make that the kingdom. Yeah. Yeah, be a big ass red castle over that mud.
The Red House over there. The White House over here, they have the Red House over there.
Yeah, red house. But go ahead, brother, let's work out. We can kind of close it up on this topic.
There's the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 22. And the children struggled together within her and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So Rebecca she wouldn't inquire of the Lord because she wanted to know what was going on within her womb. You know, she's conceived, she's with children or a child, you know, we'll use that word for the correct terminology, but
that's what the earth's saying right now.
She's trying to figure out what was going on within her womb. So she went into inquire of Yahweh.
I got it late.
Like, yo, what the hell going on?
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So when she inquired of the Lord, the Most High told her, you got 2 nations of people in your womb. Basically, you got 2 manner of people within your wombs that shall be separated from thy bowels. You know, one shall be stronger. We already know who's stronger, and and the elder shall serve the younger. We already know who's who. Esau is the oldest, Jacob is the youngest. But Jacob is the stronger than Esau.
Right.
And Esau,
wisdom is true strength.
God.
The strength is given to the children of Israel, according to Revelation 12.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Okay, so the first came out red like in hairy garments, meaning red all over, not necessarily being born with hair everywhere, but red like meaning his we'll say his skin was translucent. He had no pigments. I would say because translucent is kind of somewhat see-through. So he was born with no pigment, no carbon, or i.e. no melanin in his skin, and thus forth he was red like a hairy garment all over, and they called him Esau. What's the Hebrew name? What, Asashua? No, Asashua. Esau. I saw wasted away is he. You know. Continue.
At all. And that shows the spiritual part of it as how he came out cursed, all right? Because that was the first really person coming out born without the pigmentation, man. Prior to that was an example of how the Lord cursed Miriam, Moses, all right, the sister of Moses and Aaron with that same leprosy. But Esau was born that way. But spiritually, we look at Esau being Cain coming back in the flesh, all right?
Basically, because that's what the same thing.
The spirit of Cain. He gave up that vow of profane sacrifice, man.
Because the Lord put a mark upon Cain too.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
Right, Esau is Isha.
Yeah, Isha, okay, come. You know what I'm saying? And after his brother came out, Jacob came out looking normal. You know what I'm saying? Because leprosy back then in those days, and that was a disease, and you had to separate from people. You know, back then in those times.
But you had lepers and you had clean lepers.
He was a clean leper. He was a clean leper.
Yeah.
Physically clean leper.
Spiritually, he was a demon.
Yeah, spiritually, he was a spiritual leper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Spiritual dirty leper.
dirty leper, yeah.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And
60 years old. Isaac was 60 years old when his 2 sons was born unto him.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
So as the boys grew, they learned specifically different skills. Esau was out there walling around in the dirt and dust, being a cunning hunter, and being in the field. And Jacob was a plain man. He was normal. Jacob was just chilling in the house, minding his business.
And
Who was also represented as a plain man? Job was a plain man, meaning Jacob was entire, wanting nothing, but Esau wanted to go out to the field and set traps and try to devour everything, man. But Jacob, he stayed in the tent, the tabernacle, man. And we carry on that spirit to this day.
Esau being a busybody.
And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
So Isaac loved Esau, and Rebekah loved Jacob. This is why in the chapter or 2 over in 27, why Rebekah dressed Jacob up as Esau. Because you got to think, Esau was the firstborn, so he was more favored by Isaac. Rebekah was favored, Jacob was favored by Rebekah.
Right, so the Lord had to step in and intervene to make his prophecy come to pass.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Jacob saw it pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
So Jacob was in it, we'll say he was in the kitchen cooking. Esau comes sliding, walking in because he was faint. He was tired. He probably was hunting. He was a little winded.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with thy same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
So when Esau came in, he seen Jacob cooking. He said, give me some of that red pottage. Why? You know what I'm saying? I praise thee, that same red pottage. Why? Because I'm faint. I mean, I'm famished. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Give me something to eat, basically. So and from that time, it was called Edom. And what does Edom mean? Red.
Yeah, you think about Scar and Lion King. He became famous. He didn't want to. That's why the Lord said Esau will come down with great wrath because he knew he had for a short time. They start lacking in anything, they're gonna go crazy.
He's feeling famished right now.
He's
trying to, hunger pains. He's trying to fill his belly.
Feeling hunger pain, they're ready to kill something.
You're gonna go.
That's what Job said. He shall not feel quietness in his belly, so he ain't gonna be able to eat it.
You want to feel that quiet.
You want to feel that quietness. He's feeling famished right now, so that's why he's coming down with great wrath.
He got all stomach growl. He saw a stomach growl. All hell breaking loose.
This is the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 5. But now it has come upon thee, and thou faintest. A touch of thee, and thou art troubled. Is not this thy fear, thy confidence, the uprightness of thy ways, and thy hope? Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? So I just brought that out because that's going into a Temanite, man, which is a Edomite, all right? Basically, when they pride is being driven away, man. They pride, their power is being driven away, man. And now, now all hell go break loose. Because once Esau is out of power, out of rulership, all right, he's gonna be a diabolical demon, man. He's gonna show his horns. He's gonna show that he's a physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan.
Right, showing their horns.
Because you already got Esau, trying to hide food, fighting. That's just a devil, man. He's trying to hold back food because nobody want to give him his agenda.
He's trying to GMO everything.
And that really comes from Klaus Schwab, They bringing in him now. He the one that's controlling the next phase of it. First it was Bill Gates, and then it's Klaus Schwab, and Biden is just a puppet. He's just a mouthpiece, man. He's not running no show at all. Yeah, he's not running no show, and he's not. He's not sitting there saying, "Hey, we're gonna do this now and do that." They're telling him what to do. He read from a teleprompter. He do a bad job of that.
Come on, man. I wonder if they really typed that on the teleprompter. I don't think
I got Genesis 25 and 30. Genesis 25 and 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?
All right, there you go. So Jacob was like, oh yeah, sell me your birthright. He was like, all right, cool, bro, ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm at the point. He said, man, look, man, I'm about to die, bro. I just need something to eat. What good is this birthright going? What is going to profit me? What is it going to do for me? That's what he was basically asking.
he said he ain't have no faith. He's like basically saying, what is this birthright gonna do for me if I'm dead?
God.
So he felt like he was finna die because he didn't have no faith. So now he's trying to put that same fear in 2/3 of our people, which he's already done. So now if they feel like they're at the point of death, they're gonna have that spirit of fear rising up in them.
Paganism. That's that paganism, man. That's that no life after death. They don't think you got a soul.
And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
So basically, Jacob was like, all right, bro, swear to me that you're going to give me your birthright. And Esau was like, yeah, bro, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can get the birthright. You know what I'm saying? That's when Jacob gave Esau the bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and he rose up and went his way. Because why? Thus Esau despised his birthright. So Esau never cared. When you despise something, that means you hate it. You don't like it.
This Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind you? Because ultimately that would have come with the birthright, his statutes and his covenants. But you know, Esau, we were a rebellious people, but he just straight up wicked. Like we at least will attempt to do right. Esau ain't gonna try to do none of that.
Have no zeal. The Lord ain't give him a zeal to please him.
You know, far from him.
You say you had a precept, brother? I'm one.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 59, chapter 49, verse 16. It says, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. That's going into the lesson I was speaking about with the NWO. You know, Esau is trying to rise again or be as the stars, you know.
1950s, they set up their, over to the 1970s, they set up their satellites out in the heavens. And then now they pushed over to setting up what? Space stations out there, or what do you call space armies? Space Force. Thank you. Space Force. And now they even going as far as to sending commercial flights out there. As of yesterday, who was that guy?
William Shatner.
Old ass William Shatner. They sent him out there.
That's funny. He's the Star Trek guy.
Yeah, so they're setting their nest among the stars again. All right, trying to exalt themselves to another level. So the Lord said He's gonna bring them down. Every time they try to go higher, the Lord gonna bring them down.
Contending against the Lord, man. Being a contender, man. From setting up an embassy throughout the four corners of the earth upon every other nation to setting up embassies in the Shemaims, man. You know, trying to meet the Lord in the host, man.
Yeah, he trying to say now space has become a domain for war. They're basically saying now space is a domain for them to use their blessing, the sword. You know? The Lord like, nah, that shit is meant for earth. The heavens are made for the children of Israel. Right, go ahead, y'all. Let's get it.
This is the book of Isaiah 54 and 16 and 17. Behold, I have created the smith that blow the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the washer to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee should prosper, and every tongue that should raise against thee in judgment thou should condemn. This is the heritage of the servant of the Lord Jehovah Shai, and the righteousness is of me, say the Lord Jehovah Shai.
So it says, the Lord says, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals, that make these weapons. These scientists, they make the weapons. They do all the nuclear fission, the nuclear fusion. They're the ones that are designing these weapons. They're the ones who are designing the AI systems and the guided systems for these missiles to fly upon their trajectory, to hit this place and to burn this place up. And it also says, as the brother Yawal was saying, no weapon as formed against me shall prosper, or formed against the nation of Israel, or the people of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. No weapon formed against them shall prosper. You know what I'm saying? So whatever Esau can think up, drum up, make up, come up with, it is not going to prosper. You know, of course, the 2/3 of our people, the Most High gonna let Esau grease them up. They're gonna have to, but ultimately they're gonna learn it death by pain. A lot of our people gonna get caught up in the judgment with these missiles. They're gonna get put to death during the race wars and all these other things and stuff like that. But for the most part, the Lord is gonna judge 2/3 of our people. So,
but the race wars, they're gonna be winning those race wars.
Yeah.
They're gonna be beating the shit out there.
Yeah, and you know, like I was saying, like Jake gonna be whooping the snot out of Esau. You know, you might have a Jake or two that's gonna fall here and there during that. But the ultimate thing is when Jake was troubled, when the internment camp, when they really fully implement their new world failure. You know, when they want people to get the MOT beat, you know, or which is the MOTB, and you know, they want people to get all this. They want people to drink Pandora's juice right now, or drink out of Pandora's cup. You know, they're trying to limit what you can and cannot do if you don't drink Pandora's elixir. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's strong wine. You know, they trying to limit what you can do. You know, they're trying to put, you know, we'll say hindrances on you because you have not drunken from that cup. But for the most part, this destruction that's coming, it's over with. I mean, it's gonna make it's gonna make Esau's kingdom over with. It's gonna be over. The smith that bloweth the coal. You know what I'm saying? Those missiles. Because right when Esau think he finna, oh, I'm good. He finna see some rain falling from the sky, and it ain't gonna be water.
What's that rumbling noise?
That's it. Oh, still got a preset? Okay, Psalms 137 and 7.
This is Psalms chapter 137, verse 7. To him that made great lights, for his mercy endureth forever. The sun to rule by day, for his mercy endureth forever. The moon and stars to rule by night, for his mercy endureth forever. To him, is the right one? Psalm 137, verse 7. Oh, it's like it. 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
So remember, raise it means destroy it. So raise it. So basically, they were saying, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, that said, raise it when they came in to destroy our temple, to destroy Jerusalem.
That's what Babylon was destroying Jerusalem. They were like, hey, come on, we can check this out. Come this way, come this way. And they helped the Babylonians take us down.
And they say, raise it to the foundation. So remember Edom, O Yahweh. And guess what, Esau? The Lord remember you.
Right. And now he's the king of Babylon.
Exactly. Now you the king of Babylon. Now you finna get that Thanos slap that the Hulk caught when he was fighting Thanos. I don't remember which one it was, when it was Endgame or Infinity War. But yeah, he got slapped smooth to the floor. I'm talking about slap the dust off the ground.
It's Jeremiah 49 and 12.
For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Bosra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. You know, so hey, just as you think that the Lord forgot or the Lord didn't see you, all right, when you said raise it, all right, hey, defiling our homeland, all right, taking advantage of the Lord's people, all right, being that we have been given into the enemy's hands.
That's what that 586 BC.
586 BC, all right, then the times of 70 AD where you came in and ransacked Jerusalem, all right, we drunk of that cup, all right, we are surely drunk of that cup, but guess what? The Lord said that he's going to give you that cup, man. You're surely going to drink of that same cup, man. And it's going to be poured without mixture, man. You know?
That's so cool. I can't imagine what that's like. Every day, every second of the day. Peaceful wish for the Saturday to come.
This is Isaiah chapter 51, verse 22. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shai, thy power, that pleaded the cause of his people Israel. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said with thy soul, bow down that we may go over. Thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the streets to them that went over. So that's like how my mom used to always say, don't let nobody walk over you. But we allowed the children of Israel, allow the children of Israel to walk over us. This is a young king right there. That's what I'm talking about. We do this for the little kids like this, all right? To protect them from individuals like Esau, man. Hey, how you doing, bro? All right, so we no longer have to bow down to this devil, man. We no longer have to conform to his system. We no longer have to, we go by the rules of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Hey, how y'all doing? Because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the kings of the earth, the gods of the earth. The father's name is Yahweh, his son's name is Yahweh Shai. We need to return to our king, man. All right.
This is Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it.
And one day that child is going to remember coming to speak, and the Lord's going to bring it to his remembrance. Him coming to speak to the men of the Lord, man. You know, look, that little child's going to be blessed because of that, man. That was probably his starting point to the truth.
Remember that? Yeah.
Psalms 137, verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
So, O daughter of Babylon, we all know this daughter of Babylon, happy shall he be. Who gonna be happy to jack this place up? Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? The Most High.
Yep, and Israel.
And Israel.
Yeah, we're gonna be happy as hell.
and the Lord is gonna be happy to reward you, Esau, for your wickedness. He's gonna be very ecstatic to do that.
Verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone.
So happy shall he be, because you do know the same thing you did to our kids, Esau, using our children for gator bait, you know, postcards and things like that, cutting the babies out of our women's stomachs or their wombs, using, yeah. But anyways,
I'm gonna have to have some handmaids do that shit.
Like I said, it says, happy shall he be. We're gonna be happy to do the exact same thing to your children. We're gonna be happy to bash your children against a stone. We're gonna be happy to afflict you with extreme levels of affliction. And we're gonna do according to the Most High's will. We're gonna do according to the Most High's will. We think, like, you know what I'm saying, what we'll do.
Like,
Hey, but you're gonna have your Yahweh Shai send over you. Cursed be the man that draws his back and swore.
So the Most High, Yahweh Shai, and ourselves Yahshua gonna be very happy to do these things unto you because you are deserving of them. That's Psalm 53.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They that hate thee have lifted up the head. Who is the head? The ambassador of the heathen, man. All these nations hate Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, but they have lifted up Edom, man. They have lifted up Edom and say, hey, you're going to be the front runner to taking these people down. These 12 tribes down, this nation of Israel, you're going to be the front runner.
Psalm 83, verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So they say, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. Edom and his constituents. Let them cut us off from being a nation. Because you know, at the time when Israel, there was a time when Israel was ruling, we was putting hell on these other nations for to go according to Yahweh Yahushua, to go according to righteousness. That's why they conspired together to cut us off from being a nation, because we were afflicting them with righteousness.
Right, you want to know about that? You can watch the movie Ben-Hur. The whole movie was about them trying to stop the second temple of Solomon from being built, or the third temple of Solomon from being built.
Ben-Hur?
Yes.
Please put that in the chat.
Yeah, that movie called Ben-Hur. It was like it's like an action movie, but they kind of add a little extra theatrical stuff to it. But it was really about, and the whole movie, like we cannot let them rebuild Solomon's temple. Yeah.
Psalms 83 and 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes
of Arab,
the
Arab nations,
Jabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Salah.
So you got Edom, you got Ishmael, Moabites, you got the Hagarenes, those Syrians, you got Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, that's Esau again, you know what I'm saying? The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, you know what I'm saying? The Asher also, you know what I'm saying, with them. They have whole
Asher are the Assyrians.
time.
That's cool, you know what I mean?
They have holpen the children of Lot.
Right.
Another word for the children of Israel. They have come together against us and oppressed us. And look at what's going on. They set up in our neighborhood, look at us like we funny, but they in our neighborhoods want us to spend money at their store. You know, it's a couple of times I done thought to do some stuff, but we're gonna let the Most High deal with it.
In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who lets will let until he take them out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Who is the mystery of iniquity? The tabernacles of Edom, the border of wickedness, Esau. He's already been working during the times of Yahushua. Because that's when he said, that's when Yahushua said that. The mystery of iniquity is already right, meaning their plans and what they was doing has already been set in motion. They was already doing wickedness upon the four corners of the earth. They was already doing it. And about the what was the scripture under that?
And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
And then shall the wickedness be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. You got to think, Yahushua was quick on his feet when it came down to the word. He was quick. Like you say something, he cut the fire at you fast. Had you looking stupid, had you I'm talking about had you stuttering and fumbling over words. He was quick of the mind. He was quick with the scripture.
And we become the mouth of the Lord, man. So he said he shall put he shall give you words that your enemy shall not gainsay nor resist, man. So we became the mouth, and the Lord's going to
bring the brightness of his coming when he shows up with his chariot.
Yeah, that heavenly host.
Yeah.
The thousands. What you gonna do then? You ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
Obadiah, chapter 1, the only chapter, verse 10. Just for 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
So for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and you're gonna be cut off forever. See, you feel bad, Esau. That's why you're taking slavery out of the curriculum in the schools. Why? Because you feel bad. Because you know you're effed up. And everybody knows your dirt and your wickedness. Now, these other nations know, you know, they know that, you know.
It was literally said by a Texas state councilman, said, do you really want the world to view us in this image? He said, this is the necessity of the reason why we have to take this out of the books. You don't want them to teach about America, about those things in the past. You don't want the rest of the world to view us as this. You don't want our people in America to view us as this. And that was their whole argument.
But the thing about it, Esau, you failed because the whole world does view you as a murderer. The whole world and the people in America does view you as something is trash and for what you did to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. And they made millions off of slavery. They even made movies.
Rose movies.
Yeah, they made Hollywood. They make Hollywood rich. They're witchcraft. Ezekiel 24:6. Wherefore, thus saith Yahweh power, woe to the bloody city, to the pot, whose scum is therein, whose scum is not going out of it. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it, for her blood is in the midst of her. She set it upon a rock. That's their schools where they teach about slavery and killing our people, slaughtering our people. All right, they're setting it out in the open. Like, who gonna do something? She set it upon the top of a rock. She poured it not upon the ground to cover it with dust. See that? So Esau just declared their sin openly, man. And they don't care who. They don't care, man. All right, but the Lord's starting to make them feel that shame because they see the judgment coming towards them, man. How about you have mumbling Biden talking with Russia, talking about prepare for war, start mumbling. All right, because you know once they go at Russia, that judgment coming back at them. All right. Go ahead, brother.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And God required that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there. In the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
So the things that have already will be or has been, it's already been set up. If it was then, it's now. If it was now, it was then. The Lord requires that of things that happened from before. You know, and then the place of judgment, or this place under the sun, because we are under the sun, the place of judgment is right here in Babylon. This place, what this is, all this asphalt, this ain't nothing but pitch that's gonna catch on fire. You can't light it with a normal regular fire, so the Lord gonna set it on fire with a nuclear fire. The altar. The sacrificial altar.
I got one for you. This is Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined. See, the Lord predestinated everything. His days are determined. The number of his months are with thee. See, the Most High knows the number of Esau's months. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So the Lord has already appointed the days of Esau, how long it's going to last in Jerusalem.
So it's already been set up from Esau.
Just like a storm that passes. The Lord has how long a storm is going to arrive and when it's going to pass, so the sun can shine again. See, we were righteous in the beginning, but now we're going to be made righteous again, man. Forever.
This time ain't no going over.
Yeah, the storm is in the way right now, but storms don't last forever.
Until he be
taken out of the way. And every time there's a storm, I always tell my children the sun is still shining out. So we got somebody on the throne. We got Yahweh on the throne. So even though there's a storm on the earth, the Lord gonna move it out of the way. We're gonna see the sun shining, Yahweh shine. All right, the kingdom.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 10.
But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Right. Hey, I'm just making one point. But if it was up to Esau, we would never know about them. According to their secrecy, man. They swore a vow of secrecy. We would never know, but the Lord exposed them, man. He exposed them to us through the truth and through his word. And also, he exposed them to the world through the prophets. All right, and through their own actions, revealing themselves to be the mystery of iniquity. All right, we got to make a point, sir. Oh, okay.
This is Obadiah 1 and 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them.
So at the time when our people were being taken down, when Jerusalem was falling, Esau was right there with these other nations.
That was 586 BC. Babylon.
You know what I'm saying? Right there when Babylon came and Esau, you was right there smack dab in the middle of it, watching like, yeah, take them down, get rid of.
They burned it down. They burned it down back then, after the orders of Nebuchadnezzar.
You was there and you watched our people get taken by the foreigners into captivity. So you was there. So guess what? You had a hand in it.
Verse 12. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brethren, of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
So when it came time for judgment of our people, you should not have been one of the ones or an onlooker to see or watch the destruction of our people.
So they helped in it.
Yeah, they helped. You shouldn't have helped. When our people became a stranger from the land of Jerusalem, the Lord spewed us out of that land for disobedience and being wicked. You should not have been one of those ones that had partaken in it. You should not have been one of the ones who rejoiced over the children of Israel, in the day of their destruction. You should not have been one of the ones who spoke proudly against our people.
I'll read this quick. Not cut you off. This is First Ezra chapter 4. First Ezra chapter 4, verse 45. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burnt when Judah was made desolate by the Chaldeans. When Judah was made desolate by the Babylonians, the Assyrians, with Nebuchadnezzar, Edom was right there and burnt down that temple then. All right, and then 70 AD, they burned it down again, man.
Repeat offender or habitual offender, or like Charlie Murphy said, you're a habitual line stepper. You just kept going too far all the time, and you still going too far.
He's a habitual lawbreaker. And this is Deuteronomy 23 and 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy power, thou shalt not slack to pay it. For the Lord thy power will surely require it of thee, and it will be sin in thee. So that's that scum. That ain't left.
All right. It's like the brother said, scum in that pot. Like you wash the pot and then come and it's still all full of cooked and caked on food. But then they're like, oh yeah, this pot clean. You don't get that. But that's how Esau presents himself, as clean, but he's an open sepulcher full of dead men's bones. You know what I'm saying?
And brother Kabash brought out, man. He required it. The Lord requires the things of old, man. So you're gonna get a judgment. Everybody's gonna be judged for what they have done, man, in their body, man, in their vessels, and in their past lives, man.
Esau, you ain't skating. So when you go down in your bunkers and Lord give that order and turn these fishes into hunters, I pray the Most High have me on the front line. I'm snatching you right on the Fachi bunker by your head. I'm gonna grab your whole head and yank you, slap up out of there.
Verse 13.
Yeah, we don't want to make death threats. That's what they take it as. We ain't saying now. We're saying in the kingdom. You know what I mean?
How rocky.
Yeah, y'all rock is out. That's what they say. Thus saith the Lord.
Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of the. Okay.
Trying to get away, you see the motherfucker grab you.
Hey, that's fair though. That's fair. Look how your boy Creepy Joe talking. He don't care if it takes 6 minutes, 6 hours, or 6 weeks. It's gonna be done. He's making it. No matter whatever kind of crevice or whatever kind of way he's trying to get up out of this thing, he's trying to corner the people, and that's their mindset. That's their mindset how they operating today, man. And that's what moving. That's what's making the people move and fear.
Yeah, what do you call that? What do they call it? Herd mentality.
Herd mentality.
Right. Herd mentality.
Herding the sheep.
Right, so you shouldn't have even stepped foot in our city. You shouldn't have even did none of the stuff in the days of our calamity. You shouldn't have did none of the crap you just did. You should not have done nothing. These are the words of Yahweh Hashem Shai. You shouldn't have did it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what if they didn't, though? That's the thing. Somebody would have to do it.
Yeah.
The Lord had to make somebody do it so he can establish his righteousness, his elect upon the earth.
To have some to dishonor, some to honor.
Yeah, that's right. So he had to have somebody be the top, somebody be the bottom. That's right, man.
Hey.
So we glad you did it. Thank you.
Hey, how does that go? Better you than me.
Hey,
That's what they were saying. But when we were in this situation, they had their time to laugh. They were saying that to us. See that? They were saying better us than them. Yeah, okay.
They were saying we shouldn't have been over there when we came over there with them ships to get people.
Right. But the funny thing is, they said better you than me, right? When they saw this, they said the same thing to Yahweh when he was on the cross. But what did it say above his head? King of the Jews. All right, King of the Jews. And he's the true king. So what does that make us? The true children of the Lord, the true Israelites. All right. So better us than you. That's right.
Obadiah 1:15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
yeah, that's self-explanatory. The same thing that you have done is going to be done unto you. Yahweh is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So it's coming back round. It's going to come back to you, and it's going to be 1,000,000 times worse, man.
Well, when day one hits, man, the second one. When the elect get spiritual powers, man, that's what the Lord said he's going to deliver us in 6 troubles. That's when we deliver it. That's the word deliverance. Deliver us from what? From captivity, from sin, from being destroyed under Esau's blessing, their weapon. All right? That's right, man. All right, brother.
Book of Isaiah 33, 19, and 20. No, let me go straight. 20. Look upon Zion, the city of our solemnity. Thine eyes should see Jerusalem, a quiet habitation, a tabernacle that should not be taken down. Not one of the stake thereof should ever be removed, neither should any of the cord thereof be broken.
So look upon Zion, a tabernacle or a mount that's not ever going to be removed or moved again. No matter when the Lord set it up this time, it ain't going nowhere. It's going to be established forever. And ain't nothing nobody going to be able to do to stand against it. It ain't going to be none of this protesting and stuff in the kingdom. Ain't going to be none of that. You're going to be in your lane. You're going to be in order. Rise up if you want to. You're going to have more than just Israelites to deal with.
And in the kingdom, I'm going to have a bunch of speakers everywhere, right? And then and periodically, I'm going to play through the speakers and make it sound like it's an uproar of Esau, and they rising up and the shit happening, and they tearing shit down, and then they going to walk outside and see everybody enslaved. Like, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was our time again.
And that's the thing. Ain't going to be no NWO of the Mount of Edom in the true New World Order, which is Lord when he come back and establish righteousness upon the earth. That's going to be the New World Order. This little program y'all have that y'all gonna establish in wickedness. It's just that, a program. The Most High gonna hit the delete button, and this is gonna be over. You're gonna be uninstalled like a computer program.
Verse.
Isaiah 59, 19.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
So when the enemy comes rushing in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up that standard against him, and that's going to put the fear of Yahweh Shai in them. Yeah, it's going to put the fear of the Most High in 2/3 of our people. But we talk about Esau right now.
Right, that's when the Lord going to deliver his men in 6 troubles.
Come, and it's going to put the fear. And they're going to fear from the east. They're going to fear the Lord.
Yeah, that's day one.
Come, they're going to fear. Period. They're going to fear, and they're going to know. Oh, these are the true people of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
We're gonna have a lot of day ones. We're gonna have a day one. We can start kicking their ass over here on this side when Esau's kingdom, the transition from dark to light. And then you're gonna have a day one when the elect come out of the chariots, kick their ass some more. And there's gonna be a lot of day ones. We're gonna have a day one where the women get to kick their ass, a day one where the children get to kick their ass. Gonna be a lot of day ones, man. First time for everything. Gonna be the first time kicking your ass on this mountain. The first time kicking your ass in this ocean. The first time kicking your ass on this boat, Esau. First time for everything. Yep.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 4. Verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment?
So there you go. Knowest this not of the days of old? Esau, you're not even in the days of old, your wickedness didn't go nowhere. Look at ancient Rome. It went down. You know, look at ancient Greece. It went down. So wickedness does not last forever.
Yeah, look at Babylon. Look at the Syrian Empire.
Look at all these different kingdoms that was set up on wickedness and where they at now.
Yeah, they thought Egypt was gonna last forever, man.
Come on.
The Syrians tried to borrow from them. That's how you get the Assyrian Empire, looking just like Egypt.
Well, where all that's at now? Why? Because you ain't gonna get
They used to tell their king, they say, "Oh, king, live forever."
Long live the queen.
All that, yeah. I'll get these precepts.
Verse 15. Job chapter 20, verse 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh shall cast them into Salakia. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. Oh wow. Job chapter 20, verse 19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which is desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits.
Right, so anybody gonna look for their goods no more, man. They're not gonna have it anymore. The riches in the vault. They got to come to us for it. Yep. They got to go to Israel to get fed, shit, get anything. And if they don't come up, the Lord say He's gonna send famines on them, and all kind of plagues. All right, and force them out to come up into the mountain. That's right, man. All right, just like He did with Abraham, He forced Jacob. I mean, who was that? Jacob? Yeah, He forced Jacob to come into Egypt with a famine. All right, so the Lord know how to move, man. He know how to make people move. All right, so in the kingdom, all them nations gonna have to come up to Israel to get fed, to get everything. They're gonna bring their resources to them. Read that again.
Job chapter 20.
They're gonna come to us for the one of all things. That's right. The Lord gonna make us the head and not the tail. That's right. Come on with it, man.
Job chapter 20, verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
So you done oppressed a man in this house. You done violently taken away a house. You've oppressed our people for 400 years plus. You know what I'm saying? You take away things that you did not build with violence.
500 years plus.
500 years plus, Salakia. You know what I'm saying? You take away things. You didn't build these houses. You plan on kicking in people's doors, taking them out their houses because they don't want to go with your program. You know, so you're not gonna feel quietness when you start to get your new world failure. You're not gonna feel that you're not gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as you think that you're gonna get that, that's when the Lord is gonna come upon you, and it's gonna be like you sitting down to a good, nice dinner. You done got your fork and you got your spoon. This food smelling good. As soon as you put that fork or that knife to that steak, and you get ready to cut it and to put it in your mouth, just imagine somebody slapping you in the back of your head before you can even take a bite. I mean, literally knocking the snot out of you. And the Lord gonna quit you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord, He's gonna rain fury upon you while you are eating. So while you're in the midst of your tomfoolery, your new world failure, the Most High gonna send wrath and judgment upon you, and you ain't gonna succeed nowhere, no how. But you only doing this because you still have that hatred towards your brother Jacob, Esau. That's the whole reason this new world failure is even being implemented, because you're trying to get back something that you gave away, but when you read the scriptures, it was never ever really yours to begin with.
Isaiah 29:7. And the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel. I know who Ariel is. Israel. Well, yeah, Jerusalem, but yep, but Israel. All right, Ariel just means what? It means lion. I did a lesson on it. But that fight against Ariel, and Ariel is just another word of saying Ariel or lion. All right, even all that fight against her and her munition, and that distress her shall be as a dream of a night vision. So, all right, and it shall even be as when a hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty. As, you can stop me whenever. And or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, but he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul have appetite. So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against the Mount Zion.
So all the nations that have come against our people, they're going to be as a man that is dreaming that he is eating and drinking, but when he awakes, he's still going to be thirsty and he's still going to be hungry.
Back in that low condition they were originally in.
God, back in that low condition, like
the Great Reset.
The real Great Reset.
Yeah, put Esau back on the base. They're basement.
Resetting everything back.
Yeah, set everybody back to their original value, like currency.
No more manipulating the market.
No more manipulating the market.
All right, it's the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints.
Yeah, they heard that scripture come out. This would sound familiar. No. So guess what? If any man has an ear, let him hear. If you got ears to hear, let you hear the prophecies and the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. He who leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He who killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword. Who has led into captivity?
Yeah, he's so crazy as hell. Look how hot it is. He got this hot ass jacket on.
I'll look down right
hand in his pocket. See, we walk up the street like that. We the gangbangers and thugs, right?
Real. So Esau led into captivity. So he going into captivity. Esau killed with the sword. So he getting killed with the sword. This is the patience and the faith of the saints. this is going to happen to you, Esau.
It's not the faith and the patience of 2/3 of our people, though.
Huh.
But the saints mean to be holy and set apart from them.
Huh.
But this is our faith and this is our hope, man. So we're not taking anything you dishing out.
Real.
We're going to be saying that in court, at our jobs, wherever we got to go.
Hmm.
All right? Go ahead, brother. Everybody need to practice their no.
This Obadiah 1:9, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Right, that's teaming right there. Yeah, that's the elite.
The smarts of Esau. Yeah, you know, those who believe in their way. You know, they believe that they're God, and ultimately they believe in their science, man. Their science and their technology, which ultimately will have them dismayed, man, cut off God.
Wisdom of this world, man.
And Biden confirmed that.
They said they're gonna have faith in science. Think about that.
So they're being deceived, man, at this very moment.
They said they're gonna trust science.
They like to put Isaac Newton. They call him Sir Isaac Newton. They like to put him on the pedestal because he what did he find out with Apple, the gravitational theory, stuff like that.
Yeah, he was correct.
He was, but yeah, he died from eating mercury. So
Wasn't too smart.
it just shows, you know, their faith in science.
Like they said, Esau became wiser than Dane.
I mean, I don't want that mercury there, put it that way. I heard something about it. Planet they had, these devils had put mercury, fill them up with candy, and then when they keep around, we're gonna fill it keep up with mercury and stuff like that.
Mercury is harmful for you. Too much of it. All right. Yeah. They warn you of eating too much, like tuna and too much fish, because it got mercury in it, especially an undeveloped human being, like a adolescent, a child, with a not full developed brain or you know, full developed organs. Man, they'll be deterred and altered with mercury.
Right. You remember the what they call them? H1N1 shot. They got me. They got me. They got me. I said, they got me. Yeah, that's it. So you ever heard of the Mad Hatter?
Gone.
Mercury played that. They used to put mercury in those to make those hats. And they started putting them on people's heads. And they would sweat, them big top hats. And people would sweat, and the mercury would go into their temple, and they would go crazy. So they call them Mad Hatters. That's where it come from. Yeah, but they were putting that. Whatever. Yeah.
That's just like the lead in the water. Hey, all these, it's just different forms of weapons that you saw.
God damn.
He honking me down.
Back there mad. Hey, he might be filled with mercury.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east.
73?
Or this book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 6. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish.
And that go back to their blessing, man. The fatness of the earth, all right, the sword, you know. Right, brother. Got it out.
Fine. Yeah, no, after you did it. I'm saying, I'll break it down. It says, yeah, back in Psalm 73, it says for 73 verse 6, it says the pride compasses them about as a chain. They're covered up in pride. Come on, they're covered in pride. That's how they get out. You know what I'm saying? Violence covereth them as a garment. Just look at what's going on around the four corners of the earth. And look at what's going on. Look at what they're doing. Look how they do, how they kill our people, shoot our people down the streets. And then another Edomite come through walking down the street with a whole assault rifle, fully automatic. And the only thing he get was talked to, and then they put cuffs on him, and then they take him away.
Taking the McDonald's.
Yeah, taking the McDonald's and get some of that GMO food.
They'll probably give him some oil for the rifle.
Yeah, and it says their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. They got the fatness of the earth. That's why their eyes stand out with fatness. And how do they get that fatness? With the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. And then also there are wicked devices in which they prescribe.
76. Sounds like set up to me. The Lord set them up.
That's the last one. 75.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the judge. He put down and set up another.
So promotion don't come from none but the Most High. So the fact that Esau is where he's at right now, it came from the Most High. It ain't coming from the east. It ain't coming from the south. It ain't coming from the north. It ain't coming from the west. But it comes from Yahweh because why? Because the Most High is the judge. He put one down and lifted up another. And guess what? He putting Esau down, and he guess who he's going to lift up? He's going to lift up Yasharala, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And Yahushua is going to be our king that's going to sit on the throne. So that's going to be the true new world order. Esau, your world order is a pipe dream. It's going, the Lord going to blow it up in your face. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't going to be able to accomplish or achieve nothing that you set out to do.
And that pipe dream, the pipes on that pipe dream are sewer pipes.
Con. So you're gonna be flushed out through the drops. Con. That's anybody got any more
precept there? No, we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, well, with that being said, you know what I'm saying? We want to give all praise to the Most High and His true prophet names and the spirit of truth. Call.
Halayim. La.
Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Ha. Raka.
Kodash.
Ma'amah.
Also double honor to the elder apostles and their elders of GMS as well. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.
You want to do any hydration and stuff?
I got a hydrate bathroom.
Me too.
Oh yeah, bet.
I know it was